Okay, guys, so excited to be here today. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Josie Chen. I'm on the AI product marketing team here at Zendesk, and I'm going to be your guys' host today. So, for all of my newer audience members, if it is your first time here, hello and special welcome to you. I'm actually newer to our Zendesk events as well, so I'm really glad that you could join me today. For all of my returning Zendesk community members, our most faithful attendees, I know you guys have been around the block before and you all are familiar with my favorite event host, Megan Watson, but starting today, I'll actually be stepping into her shoes to be your host for the rest of this series. So thanks for letting me join the party. But enough about me. I know we're all here today to talk about employee service, so let's get started. But before I do, for a little bit of context, just to set the stage a bit, a few weeks ago, we had our largest event of the year. That's Zendesk's annual AI Summit, right? Where we heard from attendees, where attendees were able to hear from AI experts like Reid Hoffman. They received updates about our biggest product announcements for the second half of the year. And they got to join live product Q&As and sessions tailored to their interests, where Zendesk continues to innovate. So there was so much good content and incredible goodness there. That's why we put together this deep dive series to give you guys all a chance to really get into the nitty-gritty of it. So as you can see, this is the third session of our AI Summit Deep Dive series, where we'll be covering employee service. And I see that our incredible employee service experts have all joined us, I believe. Thank you, Lewis and Scott, for coming on today. I see Monica and Lauren, and I think Mike too. I'm so excited to hear from you guys all today. For my friends in the audience, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm actually really excited because I took a peep at today's session and it is super loaded with valuable emerging industry insights about AI and employee service that I don't know if we're going to get anywhere else. So if you haven't signed up for it already, our last session down in the bottom left corner is going to be all about contact center and voice AI agents. So highly recommend registering for that this week. But today we're going to be focusing on employee service. So I do want to take a second to give a little bit of a special plug for our two of our other employee service events that are coming up. The first one is going to be an exciting opportunity to learn directly from industry leaders. So we're going to be hosting a customer spotlight webinar featuring Pure Insurance and their innovative use of Zendesk's employee service solution. So during this 40-minute session, Pure Insurance is going to be offering insights on how they personally got to transform their IT support into a modern data-driven powerhouse. You'll get a chance to learn all about a real-world application of Zendesk and how Pure was able to succeed in streamlining support for multiple departments. So whether you're an IT leader or focused on just employee experience, this webinar I think will be a really great place to provide practical insights and inspiration you can apply in your own organization. Plus, there's going to be a demo and live QA, so you should definitely not miss out. At Zendesk, we're all about highlighting our customers and the success that they've had, right? So we actually have a number of events that we call user group meetups. These are casual chats led by customers for customers, where we feature guest speakers to share knowledge and build connections. So here are a few that are coming up this month. But I do want to give a super special shout out to our November 10th user group event. This one's going to be led by our Canadian user group, and they're going to be talking with our product team about unlocking the power of approvals. So this is actually a topic we're going to cover in today's session too. But if you want to get a chance to share your own use cases, perspectives on managing tickets that require approval requests and things like that, or just learn from your peers, I highly encourage you to put it in your calendar now. Because, for our user group events, it really is your guys' expertise and experiences as Zendesk customers that are the key to making these events a success. If you didn't catch all of that, I know it was a lot, don't worry. The link to our main community events page, we're gonna drop it in the chat. And that's gonna be your one-stop hub for all Zendesk events. So all you have to do is click on the link, create your account, and you can start registering away. But without further ado, let's introduce some of our experts who are on the line today. So to start off, I know we have Lewis, who's also from product marketing. Hello. And Scott, our group product manager for employee service. They're going to be our illustrious speakers today. I know Mike is also here to do a demo for us. Lewis and Scott, can I actually have you two introduce yourselves a bit before the audience hears you guys chat?
Absolutely. Good morning. Thank you, Josie. And hey, everybody. Nice to meet you. As Josie mentioned, I am on the product marketing team focused on employee service here at Zendesk. So super excited to share with you. We've got lots of great experts here, and also really excited to introduce Scott, who leads our product team in employee service. Can you tell us a little bit more, Scott?
Yeah, morning all. Good to meet everyone. Yes, I've been at the company almost 5 years, but I've been using Zendesk for over a decade. I was a customer, a company called TalkDesk, where I ran a tech support team. And yeah, for the last couple of years, I've been focusing on leading and building out new capabilities, which we're going to talk to you about today, specifically for employee service use cases.
Amazing. Thank you, Lewis and Scott. 10 years is with Zendesk is pretty darn incredible. So I'm sure you're super, super knowledgeable, and we're going to get to see that today for sure. And I also want to call out our amazing product managers who are on the line as well. There's Monica, Joel, Tamek, as well as Lauren, and these folks are responsible for many of the new capabilities we're going to be demoing for you guys today. So they're super knowledgeable. Don't hesitate to give us your questions in the QA. I do want to call that out. We have a chat where you can put all of your reactions to our amazing content, but also we have a Q&A where if you have specific product questions, we're going to have folks specifically in there ready to answer your questions directly. So do go to the Q&A if you have any questions. And also, don't want to forget Mike. I know you're here because you have an amazing demo for us. He's our solutions consultant at Zendesk. And all around amazing person. So let's get into it. Lewis, I think this is where I hand it off to you so you can talk a little bit more about context.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cool. And hey, see you all in the chat. Love all the interaction we've got so far. We'd love to see how you're using Zendesk today. I know a few of us have started talking about that. So we'd always love to hear more about what you want and what you're looking for out of Zendesk. So keep that up. And if you have any questions, we've got plenty of time afterwards. All right, so let's get started. Before we jump into all the new product announcements, super excited about that. I just want to take a little bit of a moment to give a bit of context. If you joined AI Summit, you probably heard us talk a lot about the Zendesk resolution platform. And in case you missed it, that's all right. It's the foundation that brings together AI, agents, knowledge, actions, analytics, and governance. Ooh, what a mouthful. All of that into one connected ecosystem. That's how we're thinking about all these things that are contributing to providing great employee experiences or resolutions in this case. And what that enables us to do is faster, smarter, more consistent resolutions for customers and employees alike. I know a lot of you use Zendesk for your customers, and some of you may also use them for your employees. So if we get to the next one, many people know us for customer service, but that same platform I was just talking about also powers our employee service solution. Now, Scott, you mentioned you're a customer of Zendesk in the past. I'm curious, did you use it for CX or ES?
It was both, actually. But you're totally right. For the last 18 years, Zendesk has been helping industry leaders like Tesco in the UK, Dutch Bros here in the US, OpenTable, and more transform not just their CX, but their internal IT or HR service as well. And this was my experience, right? Many customers love our CX solution so much that it just grows and expands organically. We do have customers that also started off using Zendesk for IT or HR, and then that spreads into customer support use cases as well. What's new is that we're now investing more into IT specific needs. I'm the group product manager for employee service, and I'm really excited to share some of these employee service product investments in this call and give you a live demo as well. Lewis, can you give me an example of other ways we focused on IT specific needs?
Yeah, like you mentioned, there are some similar things, but from product, we're starting to build out, it's a little bit more specific for IT and HR. The other thing that we're doing is conducting research, finding the right insights and sharing that with you. So I'll give one example. We recently conducted a study of over 2,000 IT leaders and employees. We're looking for trends in the industry, especially with all the shifts that are happening. So we did publish this recently, and we'll have a link for you in the chat. And this will cover stuff from, how do IT leaders, your peers, prioritize their time? What matters when they choose ITSM solutions? And, what are the most popular AI solutions? Like, what are the actual things that they're doing with AI? So lots of interesting and useful insights here. And, thank you for being here today. We want to share some of those with you through this deep dive.
Liz, that sounds great. Can you give us another example?
Sure, like a little bit more specific, right? So there's a sort of broader shift in IT service, especially as we're seeing it become more strategic as a department. So let me ask you a question, actually. If you had to guess, what is the top metric that IT teams are starting to track now?
Well, traditionally, I think it may have been speed or cost.
You know what? Those are great guesses, but Josie, why don't we reveal what it is? Actually, IT leaders in our research ranked employee service or employee satisfaction as their top success metric. So that's ahead of the traditional things that you might think you'd see, like cost optimization or mean time to resolution, or IT teams. What we're seeing is moving beyond these operational metrics that we've seen in the past to more experience-driven metrics.
Yeah,
Would
that's
love to
really
hear from you if you feel if you've seen that in the chat for our IT friends.
Yeah, answer that in the chat for sure. And yeah, I think that's really encouraging. It certainly aligns with what I've heard from our customers as well. There's less of a focus on transactional SLAs now, and more a focus on
Right.
experience. And there's even an acronym for that, or XLA, or Experience Level Agreement. So many of the customers we work with are thinking about how they can deliver a better employee experience end to end. So rather than how many tickets did we close, they're now asking questions like, did we actually resolve the issue? Did we do it first time? How much effort was it for the end user? You know, all of us, all companies, were competing to hire and retain talent. So the best companies are optimizing their operations, finding ways to reduce the barriers that sometimes get in the way of work, trying to cut bureaucracy, make it possible for teams to make decisions more quickly, allowing their people to spend more time on the things that actually matter.
Totally. And you know what? I do want to share a few more trends before we dive into these product announcements. But we try to bucket them into some things that make sense and some trends. So uh, for those of you that don't work in IT, you can still get some valuable information and demos. And if you're supporting employees, almost all of these capabilities are still relevant to you. The first trend that I want to share is that IT is more central than ever to the company's productivity. So we've seen the job move from, beyond just maintaining infrastructure, and now is really a part of every functional workflow. So, all the tools, all the systems that employees need to take care of that, it's no wonder that 86% of IT leaders say that their work now directly impacts employee productivity. Scott, what do you have to share with us in terms of product here?
Yeah, so I'm going to demo these 4 new native Zendesk capabilities and how they all work together end to end in order to better effectively fulfill employee requests.
Cool. All right. Next, couldn't get away from this. AI is mainstream now. So what we've heard is that more than 9 in 10 IT leaders are beyond the pilot phase of testing out AI tools, and their orgs are regularly using AI in their workflows. So hey, we've got to have something here, right, Scott?
Of course, we'll cover the latest in AI agents. These allow your teams to focus on more complex issues, with those agents handling a lot of tier one issues. And of course, those agents are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Awesome. All right, number 3, last bucket. Next thing that we're seeing is IT organizations are really picking up this new role, kind of like an orchestrator of the business. And one thing that was a little bit shocking to see was that they said that IT leaders are saying 72% of their time is spent outside of traditional IT work. So that's the vast majority. So they're citing like tool sprawl as a top challenge that their teams are facing today. Scott, what can you tell us about how Zendesk helps tame that sprawl to streamline employee service?
Yeah, I mean, every company's tech stack has become very broad. Every day, we're all using a multiplicity of tools to do our jobs. Connecting Zendesk to your other systems is crucial, and we've made that easy to do now without writing any code or standing up servers.
Awesome. Cool. Well, really looking forward to seeing all of that. Let's dive in. Let's productivity. I'm throwing a lot of stats at you, but here's another one. Employees can lose hours of productivity through simple IT issues. So, it might be a frozen laptop, might be a login failure. Since they're usually pre-strapped teams, and as are your employee support teams, your internal support teams. Really, efficiency is really critical to keep that business running smoothly. So, our latest AI-powered innovations are going to help you solve this, automating repeatable, self-serviceable requests so employees can get answers quickly while your team stay focused on higher value work. One of the biggest sources of trouble tickets are issues with devices, the things that employees rely on to do their jobs. So, Scott, can you tell us more about this exciting new thing? I heard we just came out with something yesterday.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to introduce native IT asset management built right into Zendesk. No more manual tracking on spreadsheets, real-time asset visibility instead, where you need it inside of Zendesk. And this literally just launched yesterday for early adopters.
Amazing. Yeah. So what I've heard, and hey, shout out Ethan in the chat. This is something that we've been requested a lot. Can you tell me what's the most exciting thing about this item?
I mean, it's built into Zendesk. And so you can easily track, monitor, and manage your assets in a single place. And you can surface that asset data directly in tickets. So your techs can resolve issues faster. It's really all about removing barriers for IT teams, making it easier for them to deliver great service experiences quickly.
Awesome. You know what? It might be new to a lot of Zendesk users to have asset management here, even though we've heard that this is something that they've wanted. Can you fill us in on some use cases that might be helpful?
Yeah, I mean, one of the most obvious ones is streamlining onboarding and offboarding. You want to ensure that new hires have the right hardware from day one. And when an employee leaves, you want to reclaim, reassign, or retire devices. Number two, the handling of daily trouble tickets. You can resolve hardware issues faster. Your techs can have instant access to the asset ownership and status inside of tickets, so you can diagnose and resolve problems more quickly. Thirdly, financially, you can improve your utilization and eliminate waste. Tracking your assets, keeping that data up to date allows teams to identify underutilized resources or optimize your purchasing decisions and support long-term budgeting. Finally, and this is growing more important every year, it helps you enhance your security and compliance. You can have clear ownership records, track devices throughout their life cycle, and quickly flag lost, stolen, or compromised assets.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what? It's always stressful to lose something. The Really looking forward to seeing this in action. But why don't you tell us what else we got related to this?
Sure. So now, next up, we've got the service catalog. And the service catalog is not just a better interface for employees to request help, although it definitely is that. It's also a way for service leaders to think about the services that you're actually offering to employees, document those, and then define the process for how each request is going to be handled. Whether you follow ITIL or not, this is just good practice. Can we move to the next slide on tasks? Great. So each service catalog item can have a task template, laying out the process to be followed by agents. That ensures efficient, compliant, and consistent service. Your service specialists and leadership now have visibility into where requests stand in their life cycle. Finally, the last piece of this puzzle is approvals, which you'll be able to include as a step within a task list next year. Approvals are now a first-class citizen, and agents can request these on the side of a ticket. Approvers don't have to be Zendesk agents. They can approve from a link in their email and soon in Slack or Teams. Approval decisions are tracked with who did what and when, making them easily auditable.
Awesome. So, hey, Scott, all of these things, I can see how all together they can be helpful on a daily basis for requests. Could this make a better experience, let's say, to new employees? So let's say I joined recently during onboarding, offboarding. You mentioned this for iTill, but what about like all these things together? How's that going to help me?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest use case, apart from just day-to-day tickets, is onboarding and offboarding. With these tools, you can standardize those processes, but you still have the flexibility to customize for a specific individual along with the full audit trail. So let me dive in, and I'm going to give you a demo of these 4 features that we just talked about and show you end to end. And I'm going to start as Elsie, the employee here in the Help Center. I'll switch personas and I'll call that out. So you know what a Help Center looks like. This is where you can search for articles and answers, browse categories. But I'm going to show you the service catalog, which was a new feature launched, I think about 2 months ago. At this point, I've just got 8 services listed here, but you can have many more. And of course, you can search among them as well to make it easier to find things. Like I said, the idea here is that you want to be thoughtful and document what is it, the things we want our employees need to request, and how are we going to support them better. So let's go ahead and create one for laptop refresh. Elsie's been in the company for a while, but her current computer is underpowered. Your service catalog items can include rich text information, pictures, and more. And each one you can specify what the form you want to use and how, the information that you need to collect in order to fulfill a request. So we're just going to go through this, and the final question is she's going to decide if she wants to ship or pick this up. So she'll just collect it in the local office. And then the admin who created this is specified you need to check with your manager first. So she's going to check that box to say that yes, her manager is aware. Now the ticket has been created, that request has been created, and on the right-hand side, Elsie still can see the ticket number and can see all the information that she filled out. If she forgot to add some information or has an extra request, she can just add a comment or even add attachments as well. Over in her email, she's got a confirmation of that request, so any further updates will appear in the email as well. Now let's switch over to the Zendesk Agent Workspace. And this is an IT tech who's going to pick up that new ticket that's come in. And you see on the left-hand side, all of the fields that were filled out are visible as well here. And then her extra comment asking for a specific color is there too. We'll see if that's possible. Who knows? Now, on the right-hand side, this is where you see one of the new features that we just talked about, and that's IT asset management. It's the little laptop and phone icon there. And we can see that she actually does have a MacBook Air right now. So as a tech, how am I going to process this request? There's many different things I can do in a daily basis. I don't always know every step I need to take, and that's where task lists comes in. So I'm going to walk you through all of these capabilities manually, but in the future, there will be automation coming to these as well. So we can create as many tasks lists as we need. And in this case, we're going to use the laptop refresh one, which tells the agent exactly what they need to do. So we've confirmed the current hardware. Another step there, they're going to check the stock level. So we'll just click back onto the IT asset management tab. We'll just click assign an asset. And this is how we can easily quickly browse. And you can see that, yeah, there's actually quite a few MacBook Pros in stock. So we'll go back to the task list and see what we need to do next. So the next is, because this is an out of cycle request from Elsie, we're going to have to check that with her manager. And that's where the final of those new features comes in, the approvals. And again, I'll create a manual approval request, but in future, you will be able to automate these as well. We're going to send that to Mariah, the manager. So that approval request has been sent, and you can see here who sent it, what time and date, who went to, and the status of that request. And if you realize that that person's out of the office and need to withdraw and resend it to somebody else, that's something you can do as well. So the final persona I'm going to switch to is over to Mariah, the manager. And there we have the email that's come in, and it's giving her the information, and all she has to do is click into the help center. And again, doesn't need to be a Zendesk agent here. And Mariah will see the same information that Elsie entered in the form. You go ahead and approve or deny that. So with that step completed, we'll just jump back to the IT tech, and you can see that in the agent workspace, it's already been approved, timestamped, and the full audit trail of everything that's happened on this ticket is available under the events tab here. So we're nearly at the end. We're going to click again on that IT asset icon. We're going to browse the assets. We're going to pick one of these, select it, changes to in use. I'm going to hit assign. And then you see Elsie now has 2 laptops because, of course, she's still got the original MacBook Air. And I just need to send her a message, which I'll do with a macro, pre-written. Laptop has been approved. It's ready for pickup. Please bring in your old one. And lastly, I'll just change it to on hold because there's one final step, which is just to check in the MacBook Air once that has been dropped off. So I hope that was a good overview of our end-to-end capabilities. You can use all of these individually or together, as I just showed you.
Hey, that was great. I gotta say, I love the alliterations you've got going with Elsie, the employee, and Mariah, the manager.
That was just to make it easier for the demo, but I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah, well, awesome. The other part is, we really saw how it streamlined the workflow for productivity, and speaking of enabling productivity, we're here at the elephant in the room, AI. 93% of IT teams are regularly using AI, as I mentioned. So you don't want to get left behind from your competitors who are taking advantage of this to make their teams more productive. And here's some popular ways that we found that they're adopting AI tools. So whether it's the Copilot making it easier for your techs and agents to know the right next step, to having AI agents to enable self-service for your end users, or even generative search to kind of deflect and make it easy so that the ticket doesn't have to be open in the first place. Lots of great stuff is happening in the space right now. So it's no wonder that 95% reported measurable improvements from AI in their IT service KPIs. So that's including boosting employee satisfaction by about 17%. So super great. Cool. Now, Scott, can you tell us more about our work here, especially when it comes to AI agents?
Yeah, so we're introducing the next generation of AI agents for employee service. This is not the old scripted bots we've all seen before that have no intelligence and a lot of limitations. Zendesk AI agents are powered by generative AI that deliver instant resolutions for every employee, from routine questions like what's our holiday policy to more complex time-sensitive issues like payroll, systems access, or PTO approvals.
Cool. What are some ways that our customers are currently using this now?
Yeah, we've heard that from our customers, the demand on IT teams just keeps on growing, but guess what? They're not getting more headcount. So AI agents takes that pressure off. They can become the new front line. Let me give you a real example. Employees hate hunting for answers. We're all busy. If I have a very specific question about a company policy, I'll be honest, I'm just going to go and ask a question instead of trying to find the right article, read the whole thing just to find that one paragraph that's relevant to my question. Instead, with AI agents, it uses your past tickets, it uses your help center articles, and now even external content sources to succinctly come up with the right answer in a quick chat conversation. And AI agents can do it 24/7.
That's huge. I am guilty of asking HR questions in the middle of the night too. So this is great for me. Who instead of bothering an agent or bothering somebody from the team, I can just go here.
Yeah. Why don't you show us how it works? Can you do that?
Why don't we get started? So, let's meet AI agents for employee service. This, as you mentioned, next generation of frontline employee support. So let's say I'm an employee at Horizon. I'm visiting the help center, and I want to plan a trip to visit my brother. So I ask the AI agent, when's the next long weekend? Let's type that up. The AI agent responds in a friendly conversational tone. So it's pulling from trusted HR policies, regional calendars, personalize the answer. Uh, Thanksgiving's coming up, so I'm gonna take 2 days more. Even though my request is a little vague, just like real employee conversations often are, the AI agent understands my intent, fills in the missing details, and it confirms with me before it moves forward. So yes, please. From there, it shifts seamlessly to answering an FAQ type question to handling a more complex workflow by submitting my PTO request right into Bamboo HR. So it kicks off that approval process, and moments later, my manager approves it, and the time off is added to my calendar. So I'll let the colleagues know I'm out. So that's agentic AI in action. Zendesk AI agents for employees understands the context, adapt in real time, and guide people to the resolution, all while staying aligned with company policies. So the result is faster answers, less manual work for HR and IT support teams. So super exciting.
Hey, that was great. I saw that the AI agent integrated with your HRIS without you needing to leave the Zendesk chatbot. And that ties in really well with our next trend. 78% of employees expect to reach out to one central place to get help. They hate being passed around and told, oh no, we can't help you. You need to speak to another department.
Right. You know what? As an employee, I could have told you that. I guess we didn't need to ask 2,000 people whether they like going to one place for help. But you know what? What about IT leaders? What about the peers of some of the folks that are here? What do they look for when they're buying ITSM system?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so, what we learned from the survey is number one is not surprising to anyone. Security and compliance, that's a given. But the next three are AI and automation capabilities, ease of use, and integration with existing systems. That means flexibility and playing well with the stack.
Fair enough. And so I think we have something exciting that touches on all three of those points, right?
Yes, Liz, we sure do. Action Builder is the new easy way to integrate and build workflows in Zendesk. While you've always been able to integrate other tools with Zendesk, now you can do it natively. There's no need to write any code. It empowers every admin to build powerful workflows inside of Zendesk without having to rely on middleware or software developers. Customers are already using it to streamline their workflows. For example, better employee onboarding and offboarding by automating software or hardware provisioning, integrate cross-functional workflows across departments using tools such as Slack or Teams, accelerating incident resolutions by automatically generating tickets in Jira, and automating data sync to ensure that changes made in one system are reflected across all connected platforms in real time, eliminating the need for manual data entry and reducing errors.
Very cool. Yeah, employees rely on plenty of tools, lots of tools to get their work done, and every change in context really slows them down. If I recall correctly, we talked about this at Relate, right? Our annual conference in May. What's new since then? I heard Action Builder is GA now.
Yes, it's generally available. So that's the big new change. It's no longer just for early adopters. And we've expanded our library of triggers, pre-built connectors, and added new integrations with Confluence, Excel, Microsoft Teams, and Outlook. There's a robust roadmap of connectors planned, including SharePoint, Bamboo HR, and Workday. They're all coming soon. But we also have the new connector SDK that gives you the flexibility to connect to any system and create any workflow you need.
Yeah, Josie, I think we can reveal everything Scott was just talking about, right? Sounds amazing. Love to see it in action. I am sure everyone is sick of hearing from Scott and myself. Mike, do you think you could hop on and show us how Action Builder works?
All right, perfect. So what I'm going to take us through here is going to be building out a quick flow within action flows. As mentioned, it's going to be some point and click tooling to be able to create these. And really that core value is enabling folks that maybe aren't as technical to be able to create these technical processes that reach across systems. I know we have a lot of folks here that also have it on the customer service side. We'll mention that it works for both ES and CS. So a lot of times when we're going to go ahead and create one of these, we have a method or a process that we approach it. What I'm going to talk through today is going to be having a reaction message put onto a message in Slack, and then using that to create a ticket for our IT team to be able to leverage this. So I'll go ahead and create the flow, create a name for it. Add a description. And then from here, we will come over into the canvas. So the first thing we're going to need is going to be a trigger. As we talked about, we've expanded this quite a bit since we've moved it into general availability within the platform. So not only being able to do things like to trigger off of Zendesk events, like a ticket being created or updated, a new user being created, even working with some of our AI tools like Copilot, but being able to trigger it from other systems. So in this case, we're going to take a look at a Slack message, but I'd like to point out as well that we can even use custom webhooks. So any system can invoke one of these flows, can pass over information, and then we can leverage it within this point and click interface. So in this case here, a new reaction has been added. We're able to build some conditioning into this as well. So whether it's information from the ticket or information from the various calls from these systems, we can leverage that. And variables will be able to be referenced within the flow as we go ahead and build it out. So in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and go with the reaction. We'll choose some kind of operator here. Is one present or do we want a certain one? In this case, it will be a ticket. So what happens when this is met? When this is met, this is where we get into the various actions that we have within the canvas itself. We can branch based upon information from Zendesk or from other systems. We can use custom code. And most importantly, to interact with things from a Zendesk perspective. So again, we're taking a look at a way to be able to create a ticket from a reaction. I've also seen this leveraged in the employee service example is a new user is created because they just joined the company. Let's spin up an onboarding ticket so that way we can move them through that process. Or maybe we need to enable them into these various systems. We can go ahead and do that through automation. And then most importantly as well, being able to have external actions. So this is going to be those connectors that we talked about previously. We're continuing to expand these as the team continues to grow it out, as well as providing an SDK so you can build your own. So really the value here is a lot of point and click connectors into various systems to be able to take these actions that exist within here. But in terms of our flow, a couple things I'm going to need to do first. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is look up that user. So coming into the Slack here, go ahead and look up that user. This is where we can reference a variable from that reaction. So being able to use the user ID to do that. Once we've done that, we want to go ahead and take a look at who they are in Zendesk because we are going to be creating a ticket on their behalf to go ahead and do so. So I go ahead and look up my user. And this is where referencing something like an external ID or another variable that we hold in that other system, we can make sure to link them together here. Once we have that, now we want to get some additional details about the message itself. So again, coming into my interface and clicking quickly here, I can go ahead and look up that message. In this case, it's going to be within IT support because that's where we'll be creating these from. And for folks that aren't aware, the timestamp is what it's called from a Slack perspective to be able to pull it up. And now that we've collected all the various variables that we're going to go ahead and need to build out this ticket, we'll go ahead and do so. So we'll go ahead and do a create. From the canvas itself, there's going to be a set of things that you have to have within the ticket to be able to create it, but we also have full availability of custom fields referenced as something that was going to be new as part of this process. So any information that we're collecting, again, through these calls to these other systems or any things that we want to put in as like a specific declaration, we can do that here within here. So I will go ahead and pull in things like their email, the name from the user that was brought in, and then maybe having the comment just be the text from that message itself. So as you can see here, very easy to just point and click to go ahead and create some of this there. And referencing even variables within here. I'll make that public. I'll go ahead and save it here. Again, there's a lot more that we can add to it. We can build in some of that branching capability. We can grab other information from other systems and things like that. But in this case here, I have one that's a little bit more built out that I'll show you what it looks like from that perspective. So coming over to here, we have our Slack channel available. I have Frank that needs help with something. He goes ahead and adds a ticket emoji reaction to that. Now that action flow is going to go ahead and kick off, and it's going to go ahead and do a couple things. So we talked about how it can respond within there. It can create a ticket. It can also send a direct message. So some capability there to be able to bring certain details over within the ticket. Also letting me know that we've logged this request with a ticket ID. Could even provide a link to that ticket. And then coming back into support here, we have our ticket be created. In this case, letting me know that we've sent an automated response to Frank, setting it to the right type of issue, and then providing context for our agent to go ahead and take a look at it. So that's really going to, again, be that power of action flows, being able to take those actions within these various systems, including Zendesk, bringing information together and doing it all through a no-code platform.
Amazing. All right, thanks, Mike. That was really cool to see it from end to end, building the no-code workflow in the orchestrator, seeing the triggers happen, and really it's orchestrating it all, integrating and connecting these systems together out of Zendesk. Super cool. Now, on that note, I know that not everyone works in Zendesk all the time. It sounds like a lot of knowledge workers, employees spend a lot of their day on messaging tools like Teams or Slack. I know both of those are supported in Action Builder, but we're going to go even deeper with Microsoft. Scott, can you tell us more about this?
I can, yeah. We know how many of our customers use Microsoft for collaboration, and it's a lot. That's why we're excited to announce the Microsoft Copilot integration, bringing Zendesk's AI-powered support directly into the Microsoft 365 ecosystem that people rely on every day. Employees can now request IT or HR support right inside Teams, Outlook, or any Microsoft 365 app. Microsoft Copilot will capture the details, create the Zendesk request, and even surface relevant help center content to resolve issues immediately. It's AI powering resolutions where your employees work. Lewis, can you show us what it looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see how this integration delivers exceptional service right within the Microsoft 365 apps that employees use the most. So let's dive in. So while working in Teams, I realized I need a new software license to finish a project I'm working on. So I go to Zendesk and Microsoft Copilot and type it out. And it surfaces the relevant Zendesk Help Center articles. So that encourages self-service and guide me before I actually submit the ticket. So what I can do, I can check out the available resources from the Help Desk Center, and then I confirm my request. I do want a ticket. So Microsoft Copilot, it instantly submits the request. It creates a ticket for Zendesk for IT, so no context or platform switching required. So that's great. Cool, so it's in. Let's say it's been a few hours. I want to check in on the status of this request. So I can see the status of the request in real time. I can add extra details, escalate, and all without leaving Teams. So super cool. But even better, I can actually check the status of all my other requests as well. So there they are. Let's switch views to IT agent. Let's see what happens on the agent side. So My software request automatically captured in Zendesk as a new ticket. There's no manual entry, no chasing down details. From there, inside the agent workspace, the agent can see the full context of that request. So what software did I ask for? Any notes that I've added? All in there, all connected. So the agent can quickly evaluate the ticket, assign the app, and notify employees, and even close out the ticket all in one streamlined flow. Now, what we saw is awesome. The Microsoft Copilot integration, it's available in the Zendesk marketplace, so you can enable that in just a few clicks. So no custom development required. And that's how you can embed AI-powered Zendesk support across the Microsoft 365 apps. We can keep the service fast, simple, and I didn't even have to leave my workflow as an employee. So super fun. Let me bring it back to you, Scott, to kind of close us off before we head into Q&A.
Can do, Lewis. So just want to recap the 3 pillars and what we've seen today. So first up, number 1, demoed end-to-end workflows natively in Zendesk through a new IT asset management, service catalog, approvals, and tasks capabilities. Number 2, new generation of generative AI-powered agents that act as your front line of support, open 24/7. And then Action Builder to orchestrate all your workflows across systems, and then keeping employees in their flow of work with the new Microsoft Copilot integration. These are all new capabilities delivered in the second half of this year, and we're just getting started. Our 2026 roadmap is chock full of further enhancements and new capabilities. Everyone knows Zendesk has been a leader in customer support. Now you can provide your employees with that same level of experience in a tool that's easy to use, whether you're a technician, manager, or leader.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, and thank all of you for being here. I know we've got a lot of questions, a lot of comments here. So why don't we head over? So we do have experts in the listed features that we saw here, but we'll try to answer everything we can. And if not, Josie, we can try to reach out to you again, right?
Yes, for sure. So we're going to enter into the live Q&A portion of our event today, and everyone who's on this call, we're going to, from Joel to Lauren to Mike and Monica and to Meg, these are your product managers. They know it all, and so we're going to try to ask them a few questions from the audience. Okay, so the first one is going to be about Service Catalog. We want to know what improvements are planned for Service Catalog. And I believe this is Tomek, your area of expertise.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, so as you have seen at Scott demo, it's a storefront for the customers, for your employees. And we are hearing a lot about implementation of, for instance, categories for more elaborated structures of a catalog. So that's something that is coming in the next quarter or at the beginning of the next year. We will be expanding the accesses. So you'll be able to configure which employees have access to which kind of requests. So for instance, some managers could have different set of requests available for them. HR people could have different set of requests available for them, and so on. IT asset integration is ongoing, and this will be available in the next weeks. And last but not least, we are looking into the AI integration. So we want to meet the employees where they are. So we have seen a lot already in the previous demos, where you as an employee can solve your problems in the tools that you are most familiar with, like Slack. And this is our long-term goal for 2026, to be able to provide services for employees.
Incredible. Sounds like there is a lot on the roadmap, which means people have a lot to look forward to. But next, we actually have a specific question about, if someone's in the product and deciding when they should use ticket forms versus Service Catalog, can you give us a little advice on which one they should use in different use cases?
So I think that a lot of Zendesk admins are very familiar with ticket forms, and the good news is that Ticket forms are let's say, backend of Service Catalog. So if you are experiencing with that, you can think about Service Catalog as a nice-looking marketplace that is structuring the processes for employees, but also it's using on the backend the ticket forms. So if you are using conditional fields, if you're using triggers, you can find all these features there. So Service Catalog can benefit from all these values, and all those features are available for the ticket forms as well.
Cool. More on product. The next question we have is, how can I incorporate AI into the Service Catalog? Because like Louis said, we want to make sure we don't fall behind on this AI train.
Yeah, so as you have seen, the AI Copilot can create tickets already, and with Service Catalog, it will be able to create structured tickets. So if you define a process for requesting paid time off or requesting process for requesting new laptop, AI agents will be able to guide employee to find the right request and then help them fill the data in a casual conversation. So I know that everyone hates forms, but AI will be able to help with that.
Great. That's great to hear. Okay, so the next question we have is, how do I connect Service Catalog and asset management?
Yeah, so if you're an admin and you are creating new Service Catalog items, for instance, to request new laptop, you will be able to select fields like asset types. So you'll be able to create a specific Service Catalog item to request laptops or request software or hardware. So the end user, the employee, will be able to pick from the pre-selected list of the available devices what they want to request. So that's one thing of connecting Service Catalog with IT asset management. And the second use case, similar to what Scott showed on the demo, you will be able to report, for instance, the incident. So you'll be able to go to Service Catalog, click report incident, and you'll be able to immediately see all the devices that are provisioned to you. So the agents who are working on it will be able to easier find already all relevant information needed to resolve your incident.
Excellent. So I think we're shifting a little bit more into IT asset management for our Q&A. So the next question is specifically about what kind of things can I track using IT asset management? Is it Scott who will answer?
I think I'm happy to answer this one.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Joel. I'm the product manager for IT asset management. And what kind of things can we track within ITAM? We've kind of purposely built this for end user devices. But that said, you can track really anything you can think of. You can create any type of asset type, could be printers, could be tables in an office. You can create that type and you can track it by uploading data into Zendesk. So while our focus initially is on end user devices, you can really track anything you can think of.
That's great to hear. For our next question, it is specifically about if we are able to assign assets to a location instead of a person. Because me personally, I work full remote, but I know I have many colleagues out there who are in the office and they're using the meeting rooms. So for example, devices in a meeting room, are we able to assign these kind of assets to a location?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our EAP, we've introduced the ability to create locations, and you can actually associate assets to a location. So I know common use cases are things like, within a building, you may have conference rooms and you may have TVs or AV equipment within a conference room. So this is equipment that's not necessarily assigned to an individual person, but you may want to track exactly where that equipment is. So you can create that location and you can assign that asset to that location.
For sure. Anything to lower the barrier to going into office. So another question for you, Joel, is how do I get my asset inventory into ITAM? And then what kind of information can I see once it's in there?
Yeah, so for EAP, you have the ability to upload a CSV. So anything that exists in a spreadsheet, you can upload into Zendesk and immediately start tracking. That said, we know the importance of really automating some of this information. And we know a lot of this information exists in other systems. So by the time we hit GA, and possibly a little bit before then, we'll introduce the ability to sync your device information with systems like Jamf and Intune to start, and we'll expand from there. So instead of having to manually keep that information up to date, you can actually build an action flow that will sync that information on a regular cadence. So it doesn't require any manual effort at all.
Wow, that's great. We want to reduce the manual effort. For our next set of questions, we're going to be talking a little bit more about tasks. And so first one for that is, can we just reiterate for folks, what are tasks and how is it different from the ticket type task?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Monica. I'm the product manager for tasks. So tasks are general ticket type that are used to assign work to a specific agent and set a due date. This could be something like for internal workflows, like research this bug or research this issue that a customer might have reported. But the new task management or task capability that we released, that helps deliver fast, reliable, and a compliant service for enabling admins to pre-configure task list templates that provide step-by-step processes for use cases like employee onboarding or offboarding, incident management, maybe performing system updates, etc. And these can be attached to a ticket, and agents can check them off as they work on a ticket. So that's the main difference between the task type ticket and the task that we recently released.
Great. Thank you so much, Monica, for clarifying. I think there's also there can tend to be some confusion around tasks and Copilot auto assist procedures. So can you go into a little bit of the difference between those two as well?
Yeah, for sure. So auto assist instructions are part of the Copilot add-on currently, while tasks are included in many ES and CX suite plans. Tasks are interactive checklists, like I mentioned, with the list pinned in the sidebar for easy access, for checking them off, for checking them on, etc. While instructions feed agents a few steps at a time. So when AI can't act in the broader context of a Copilot-driven procedure. I know right now there's some similarities today between Copilot procedures and tasks, but the roadmaps will definitely evolve in the future, and there will be a lot of differentiation between what tasks can do or what Copilot assist procedures can do.
For sure. Thank you so much for that clarification. The next set of questions that we have are a little bit about approvals. The first one is, what are some common ways that approvals are being used to support ES use cases? And I think, is it Lauren who's going to be answering?
Yeah. Hi there, everybody. I am the PM of approvals, and I want to, just say hi and thanks for coming and put in one more plug that we do have an event on Monday if we don't get through all these things, because I know that we're at the end of the hour. So common ways, Scott mentioned quite a few of them around onboarding and offboarding. Folks are starting to utilize that now. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in 2026 when we go into the automation of approval workflows in Action Builder. Other things that are happening that have been really interesting is just, account access for their customers to do triage. There's been, cute things around like somebody wants access to the IT closet that doesn't traditionally have access. So things like that have been the common use cases now. And then I think, in the future, I think they're going to become much more robust and complex.
Excellent. Next question I have for you, Lauren, is can I send approvals to approvers who don't have a Zendesk account?
Yes. I like to say that anyone can be an approver. So whether it's an end user, and as Scott mentioned, end users, if they're assigned as approvers, they would end up approving approval requests in Guide via a link that they are sent in the email right now. And then soon in Q1 2026, we'll have approve via Slack, approve via Teams, and Q2 2026, approve via email. So they can just click a big button and make that decision.
Awesome.
We also, if you do have a lot of folks in agent seats, light agents, contributors, admins, customer roles, you name it, can be approvers.
Great to hear that anyone can be approver. Can multiple people be approvers at one time? Or does approval support multiple approvers?
Yeah, so Right now, the answer to that is no, but very, very soon, the answer to that will be yes.
Awesome.
So we're targeting this quarter for groups of agents, and then next year, kind of next year, groups of whether they're end users, all end users, or end users plus agents can be kind of combined to create these approval groups.
Excellent. Something to look forward to end of this year, this quarter. And I know we are at the end of the hour. This is just a reminder, this is a 75-minute event, but if you do need to drop, that's totally okay. But for those of you who want to stay on and learn a little bit more about our AI agents through our Q&A, we do have the next question is, do AI agents keep customer data safe? Very important to think about in this era. Who do I have for AI agents here?
Scott, do you have?
Yes.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, I can take this one. Yeah, look, security of customer data with AI is super important. With the right AI agent solution, you can meet those data privacy standards. So it's not something you need to worry about. We have many Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies that trust Zendesk to protect their data. And we do prioritize data security, following all local regulations, implementing robust security measures, and being transparent about how that customer data is collected and utilized. We actually have an article in our help center, which I'll post in the chat if you want to read more. It explains exactly how our AI works. Some of it is internally developed by Zendesk using our own models. We also use some generative features supported by third-party LLMs like OpenAI. For those, we're using pre-trained models. No third party will use your inputs to train their models or improve their services in the future. So I hope that at least answers the question part, and I'll post a link if you want to know more about how all this works. I'll put that in the chat.
Thank you, Scott. I think that'll be really helpful as we're entering this AI era. It's really important that customers' data remains safe. Next question that I have is, which knowledge connectors are available today?
I think I can probably take that one. So today, I think it was last week, we actually rolled out the Confluence connector, and we've got Google Drive and SharePoint coming soon. I think it's either this quarter or next quarter.
Excellent. I'm on Google Drive every single day, guys. So this is great to hear. Is the AI add-on required to use Action Builder?
The AI add-on is not required to use Action Builder. Sorry, did I just talk over you, Liz? On you go.
Oh no, that's it. I was going to say the same thing. Not required. And
yeah, it's available.
Need it. Yeah,
it's available to all customers. That capability just went into general availability last week. So yeah, check out our documentation because you can start using it right now.
Great. And while we're on the topic of connectors and Action Builder, Scott, can I connect other third-party systems that don't have a connector to Action Builder?
Yes. So, we're building certain connectors out of the box, the most popular ones, and, we've released so many so far. We've still got a robust roadmap. We're going to be launching more every quarter. But you can also connect to any API, and that's available. So, yeah, you're not limited to just our pre-built connector library. Great.
And then I do have a question about Microsoft Copilot specifically. Do I need Zendesk AI to use Zendesk on Microsoft Copilot?
I can answer this one. So the Microsoft Copilot integration that you saw the demo for, it's available to all Zendesk plan types at launch. You do not need Zendesk AI or Zendesk Copilot to use it. So the integration runs independently as long as the customer has Microsoft Copilot licenses. So that said, pairing Microsoft Copilot with Zendesk Copilot will give you more bang for your buck. It unlocks the full front-to-back AI-powered service experience. But to answer, short answer is no. You don't need to have Zendesk AI to use Microsoft's Copilot to connect to Zendesk.
Great. But specifically for my users who are also in Microsoft, are Zendesk Copilot and the Copilot on Teams the same? Everybody's using Copilot today. So can we just clarify, are these the same or different?
Sure. Yeah. Just to clarify on that, Microsoft Copilot is where employees make requests inside of MS 365 apps. So, Teams, for example. While Zendesk Copilot is really for agents to resolve those requests more efficiently inside of Zendesk. So by consistently, we want to, they're distinct but connected. If you'd like to enhance the experience, they can work together to deliver a more seamless end-to-end AI-powered service experience. But no, not the same. User
For sure. Sounds good. Thank you for the clarification. And we are coming up on the end of our time together. But Lewis and Scott, I just have one more question for you. You had all of these great stats throughout this entire session, and just for me, but also all 520 participants who are here. Where can I find the report that you've been citing with all the research that you guys did?
Yeah, I know I flooded everybody with lots of stats. You can, lots of great stuff in this research. You can download it from the link in the chat that I am posting in right now. Or, you can look up the Zendesk IT Transformation Playbook. So lots of good stuff in there. And yeah, more than I can list in one session.
That's awesome. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of our Q&A. I feel like I learned so much today, and I hope that you guys all did too, and that you all got a chance to get your questions asked and answered. Special thanks to all of our presenters. I know many of them had to jump because they're just so busy coming up with all of these new features for you. But can we just hear it in the chat for all of our experts, for Scott, for Lewis, and all of the excellent insights and product demos that they gave. And friends, I just want to give a special shout out to our silent partners who in the chat, they were answering the questions the whole time for the last hour. And I do hope to see you guys at our next event one more time on a Monday, November 10th. There's going to be a continued conversation about ES. So please do join that event. It's going to be great. If you didn't get your question answered here today, that's your next touch point. But if not, yeah, that is all the time that we have today. And I really do hope to see each and every single one of you guys at our last event of our AI Summit series. It's going to be about contact center with a specific focus on voice AI agents. So I hope to see you guys there. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks all.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.